Well, hello. So today I thought I would show you about a phrase, and that phrase is last week, and it's used two different ways. And the first one is about time, right? So when you do an ASL sentence, time, topic, comment. So when we say last week in time, this is the sign for it. So this is your calendar on your non-dominant hand. For me, it's my left hand, and you can just pretend like each finger is a week, right? This is the first week, second week, so you can see it as a calendar, right? And then with my dominant hand, I use my index finger, and I'm going to start where the outside of my hand is out against me and my palm is toward me. And so it's just my index finger. And I start out this way on the calendar, and I'm going to sweep across it and go behind me. Last week. Now, this shows time. And the reason why it goes backwards is because it's in the past, right? Because I've showed you before, this is past, present, and future. So next week would be this. That's a little bit harder. Some people will do this, but it's really this. But we're not going to worry about next week. We're worried about last week. So last week is easier. So you just go across the weeks, the whole calendar, the whole month, and you go back. So last week. And the reason why you have one finger is because it's just 1 week ago. It's last week. If you said 2 weeks ago, you would do two, right? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, all the way up to 9, right? So this is last week. Last week. Last week. And so here's a sentence, and I'm going to do it several ways. And the last one, the very one that I do the last, is going to show you the correct way. So last week, I go camping. Now, in ASL, you do not have to use I in that way, because if you are talking about something and you're always talking in the first person, and so unless you point out he or she, or you spell someone's name or do a sign name for someone, you're talking about yourself. So I is not necessary in this sentence. Last week went to camp. Now, some people would say in the South, last week went to camp finish. Well, finish is a completed action, but it's not necessary in this way because we've already done last week. It's already in the past, right? We've already said last week, go to camp. Some people, if they're going to use the word finish, they're going to say in the, I think it's the Western states, it's not the South anyway. So last week, finish, go to camp. Or they may say I. But like I said, finish, a completed action, is not necessary in this case because we've already done the time. Last week. Last week, go to camp. Oh, really? Did you have fun? Yes, but there were so many mosquitoes. Oh, you need some spray. Yeah, but yeah, that's true. I have some wipes that help. Oh, wonderful. Where did you buy? Oh, I bought at Walmart. Oh, cool. So there's your sentence. So last week, you already know that it's completed action. You did it last week. You're not talking about any other time, and you're talking about yourself. Because if not, you would have already named that person. Okay. So then the other phrase of last week, I've already kind of shown you. It's last. Last. Your pinky fingers. And why is that? Remember, we did our calendar, and each week is a week, or each finger is a week, right? So if this is last week and this is last, that means last of your weeks or your points or whatever. You could say, oh, I have 5 points. And then if you're talking and you would say, and my last point is last. Last. And it doesn't do the whole hand because this is to finish or complete. It's not a completed action. It is like a cutoff, right? So like weekend, something like that. So you wouldn't use this sign, you would do this one. It's the last week for the sale of the new TVs. Or you could say August 16th is the last week, that week on the calendar, the last week you can register for school. Or you can say next week is the last week to sign up for camp, right? So last week, the last week to do something, right? It is not time, it is an action. So it's your, not say it's a comment, but you can say, oh, register for school. This week is the last week to be able. Ah, really? The last week? Yes. Or you could say that week of August 9th or whatever, that's the last week to register for school. Oh, okay. Thank you. Right. So that's in the future, right? You're giving a date. So the last week is not time. It is more of an action or a comment about something. It's not necessarily the topic because your topic would be, oh, you need to sign up for camp or register for school. And I do register. And it's like you're signing up on these lines on a piece of paper and register. So it goes the whole gambit to register or sign up for. You can say sign up for. You could use that for sign up for camp or sign up for school. But normally people will say the word register, register to vote, register for school. Because it's like, think of a like you have this piece of paper with all these different lines on it, and you need all these signatures. So, they've got like this whole board, and they've got this paper with all these lines on it, and they want you to sign up on it to register. So that's why it goes the whole gambit of the hand, register. Or you could say sign up. We need people to sign up for volunteer, right? Last week will be or last week for the sale of the refrigerators. Those refrigerators, that price, that cheap price, that lower price, this is the last week. Really? Oh, I need to go down there and see and check it out and find out if I can afford, right? So those are the two ways that I would use last week and last week. This is the last week, or next week. Next week. That will be the last week that you can sign up for swim camp. So listen, figure out how you would use a sign, or which way is not conceptually correct. So it's more of kind of a thinking process about the language and how it's used. So have fun, and I will see you later. Bye.